Hello, Dr. Page. It's very nice to meet you. My name is Alicia Nguyen, and I'm a representative for ADP.
Nice to meet you, Ms. Nguyen. Have a seat, please.
Thank you. It's a lovely office you have here.
Thank you.
So I'm here today because you had some problems with efficiency, and I believe that I can help you with some of these problems. But before we get to that, here's my business card. Please feel free to contact me anytime after this interview.
Thank you. We'll definitely do that, Ms. Nguyen.
All right. So could you tell me a little bit about your business?
Yes. We're a medical clinic which was established in 2003. It's currently owned by my wife and I, Ellen, and we also have another doctor on staff.
Okay, so you guys have 2 locations, right?
Yes. Here and in Peachtree, here in Nguyen.
Okay, so how many employees have you hired at both of those locations?
In this location, we have 20, and in the Peachtree location, we have another 15.
Oh, very interesting. And you guys, as I recall correctly in your previous email, you said you wanted to expand, right?
Yes, expanding is definitely a plan that we have in the future, but right now it doesn't seem as feasible as we first thought.
Why do you think that is?
Right now, we're just having a lot of trouble with keeping everything efficient, as I said earlier, and adding another location would definitely not help with that right now. So until we find a way to be more efficient with our systems, I don't think expanding is really the right choice.
Oh, so could you tell me a little bit about those problems with efficiency?
Yes, definitely. One of the things that we're having a lot of problem with is our systems, specifically our payroll system. Like I said, the clinic is owned by my wife and I, and Ellen, my wife, she does most of the administrative and the HR things.
Okay.
And she's having a lot of trouble because originally she was just doing this part-time, but it's consuming a lot of her time, and she's not having enough time to spend with the kids, and she's spending more and more time at the office, which is originally not what we had planned.
I gotcha. So the wife, you know, she originally she did it. She didn't know what she was getting into, right?
Yeah, she was just helping me out, and she didn't think it would be this hard. And honestly, I didn't think I would be asking this much of her offer when I asked her to do this also.
Okay, so I'll try to break it down. Like, what kind of problems is your wife having at the moment with her job?
Right now, honestly, she's spending a lot of time with our payroll systems.
Right. So obviously I know it's a time-consuming issue, but I'm wondering, why do you think that is?
Our systems honestly are a bit archaic, so she has to do everything manually, and it, like I said, it eats up a lot of time with her having to do everything by hand rather than everything being automated.
By hand? Does that mean that you guys not have a system, or?
We do have a system, the Microsoft GD system, but with it, she still has to manually enter everything. It's not automated, so she has to count up the time cards and just enter them.
So you're saying she has to manually count up all 35 of your previous employees?
Yeah, all of theirs, and she has to then enter all their payrolls into the system, and then she has to transfer it from a Word document to an Excel.
Why?
Because our system doesn't offer the option for it all being together, so she has to transfer it by hand.
So you're saying that it's not very user-friendly?
It's not user-friendly at all by any means.
Okay, so you're saying that you guys also don't use direct deposit?
No, we're currently with Chase, and with our current situation, they do not offer us direct deposit.
Okay, so how much, on average, how much does it cost to use their services with checking and banking?
$250 a month.
Oh, okay, I see. So as your wife seems to be completely responsible for the employee payroll, does this also mean she's in charge of taxes?
Yes, she does, and she does the staff of taxes and all the filing and everything for the business.
On average, how long do you think it takes her to do the taxes?
Honestly, with every pay cycle, I think it takes her about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Wow. Yeah, that does seem a bit time consuming considering that these days we do have systems that can automatically do that for you. So it's like less manpower and whatever. So from what I understand, it takes you an hour for payroll and 3 hours for taxes. How much time does it take to sign checks?
It takes about an hour for her to sign and write all the checks for each employee.
And manually updating the employees' times into the system, how long would that take?
That also consumes a good portion of time. It depends because certain weeks, certain employees have different schedules, but on average, I would say it would take it takes her about an hour and a half.
Really? I was under the impression that you had 35 employees.
An hour and a half for each
Oh, okay, I see.
employee.
Oh, okay. That does seem like to be a bit much for a part-time job.
Definitely.
So I'm going to assume that since you don't have direct deposit, I'm also going to assume that there might be other problems that come with not having the system of recording time, like automated either. Are there other problems?
Yes, sometimes with the scheduling and like I said, with the for each employee, there's some mishaps that happens with that, and occasionally with the checks that we write, sometimes it's not all accurate just because everything's done by hand, so there's a bit of human error.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that's a problem. But what I was trying to get as is if your system's not automatically recording the time paid and calculating the checks or whatever, that means you can't record like the time that the employees paid, the time the employee worked, and therefore you don't know how much time off they have.
With PTOs, yes.
Gotcha.
There is some errors with that also.
Okay. So overall, from what I've been taking notes on, you guys have problems with manually doing your checks, doing your taxes, and I know you have to use the services of a bank. Apparently the software isn't user-friendly or efficient in a way that gets your job done quicker or faster.
Not really.
And last but not least, your employees constantly probably want to know how much time they have off, paid time off.
Yes.
And your wife has to deal with that.
Yes, she also has to do that by hand because it's not integrated into the system, so that also consumes a bit of her time too.
So do you believe if that all of these issues were resolved, your business would be run more smoothly?
We can definitely cut back off a lot of hours that she spends, and we would be able to run everything more efficiently with a better system, definitely.
Okay. Well, I believe personally that we have a solution for you, and we can work with you so that we can gradually get your business to, not have to focus on this aspect of running your business so much. But before we do that, I want to set up a new meeting so we can, demonstrate a new version of software. We can give you options, and additionally, I'd like to talk to your wife so that she can tell me more about what she's going through and some more details.
Definitely, I'll talk to Ellen and try to set a meeting up soon. I have your number and your email, so I can...
So you're interested?
Definitely.
Okay, so are you free perhaps next week or so?
I should be. Like I said, let me talk to Ellen and I can try to set up a meeting with you since she's someone that deals with the administrative stuff. I feel like she should also be present.
Okay, so we can set up a meeting next week at maybe like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, like this time.
That would work.
Okay, so I'm gonna take some notes, make some revisions to what I have to what I suggest.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very nice talking with you, Dr. Page.
Thank you. You too, Ms. Nguyen.